Welcome back. Starting this section, we are diving into topics that are mostly associated with SQL language, and that is retrieving the data. In this section, we're going to cover restricting and sorting data. But before we do that, let's talk about column aliases. Let's go to our example. So I'm connected on my HR schema, and I'm querying from the employees table. I just picked up a couple of columns to be shown, and let's execute first this query. As we can see, the query works, it returns data. So for the column aliases, when we query by the column name, also the result is returned as the column has its name. What if we want to change that? We can do that very easily. After the column name, we just have to write which name we want. So for example, if we do not want employee ID to be shown, we can just write ID. Let's execute this. As we can see, now the column name is ID. Nice. Have in mind that we cannot use reserved words for column aliases. So if I would write instead of ID, for example, select, this query would fail as the command is not correct. Let's return this back to ID. Another way to make a column alias is in the same way, but also using the optional as keyword. So, for example, for the first name, I could write first name, which is the column name, as, and let's say name. Okay, let's execute this. And we can see this works the same as with the ID column, right? As the as keyword is only optional. When I mentioned that we cannot use reserved words, we actually can, but they have to be encapsulated in quotes. So for example, if I wanted to name my last name select, I would use double quotes. Then my column for the last name would be called select. And as we can see, the column name in the output is now select. With the double quotes, any special character or even space can be used. So for example, if I wanted for salary to write, let's say monthly pay, this would be just fine. Let's execute this. And we can see the monthly pay is presented to us. And consider this, that is also case sensitive. Cool? Of course, even with this case, I can use the optional as keyword. This works the same. This is it for column aliases. And in the next one, we are starting to sort some data returned by our query. See you in the next one.